You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour here.
We are so bloody and so happy.
It's pretty bloody today.
Ooh.
It starts off pretty bloody.
We like some blood.
My inspiration for this story is Friday Night Lights.
Football.
I think this is the first week for a lot of high schools of football games. And then real college football games we had some college football games last night or last week.
We got NFL about to come start.
NFL.
Did the fantasy draft. Woo.
Football season. I love it. I love the smell of football.
I love it.
Let's talk about a cheerleader murder. Okay. So we're in Fort Worth in a little suburb called River Oaks.
Okay.
Ever heard of it?
Nope.
This is January 21st, 1982, and it's about 6 p.m. at night. Amy Moody walks into her home that she shares with her best friend. And when she walked in, as soon as the door was actually cracked open, which is not a good sign.
Never a good sign.
She walked in the living room. There was blood all over the carpet. There was blood all over the walls. There was blood drag marks going into her roommate's room.
Oh my gosh.
So Amy's sister lived next door. So she walked out. She went and got her sister, and she says, "You need to come with me. Something's wrong."
You gonna bring your sister into that apartment after you see all these bloody drag marks?
They both get a baseball bat at least. They come locked and loaded with the baseball bat, and they walk in and they follow the drag marks to roommate Retha's room, Retha. And when they look in the room, She is laid out. It looked like somebody had stuffed her in the closet, but the closet door busted open. So like her legs and stuff are like laying outside the closet, but her body's inside the closet.
Okay, got it.
No, didn't stage her. She was bloody. She had a knife stuck in her chest, and she had her underwear stuffed in her mouth.
Okay, so a little stagey.
She was stabbed 38 times.
Was she 38 years old?
She was 18 years old. So, 18 years old, this is 1982. So 38 times, what happened to Retha? So let's talk about River Oaks for a little bit. It's a small town, 7,000 people. And like most Texas towns, Texas high school football is a big deal. The whole town would show up on Friday nights to this game. And Retha was a cheerleader. So everyone knew Retha.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to quote, because I watched, there's a show you can watch on Peacock Max. It's called Murder Under Friday Night Lights.
Oh, yes.
I talked about it when I think I did the Tom Brown story. Yeah, it's a bunch of episodes. There may be 3 or 4 seasons, a bunch of different episodes. They're an hour long. They're all good. All surrounded by high school football, cheerleader or something.
Oh, yeah.
So this is verbatim what they said about Retha. Retha was an all-American girl. She was blonde hair, blue-eyed cheerleader. She was the most popular. She made good grades. Everyone had a crush on her. She was everyone's friend. She was positive, upbeat, and always bubbly. And I was like,
not
quote unquote.
Listen, if you're ever gonna be,
don't be nice.
And gosh, I mean, what is bubbly? Like, what is it about bubbly?
I don't know.
Okay.
It said she never had a bad word to say about anyone. So talk about people all the time.
No, bitch, you need to start talking shit.
Start talking shit.
I'm not victim blaming.
No, that's literally how we describe the victims on every podcast.
Yes. Bubbly. They're always bubbly.
She was very mature and she was very confident, and she actually dated an older guy named Dale. She was the one that her picture was all over the yearbook. She was most talented. She was like homecoming queen. She was head cheerleader.
But was she class
the
clown?
Person.
No.
She was not class clown.
That was me.
The high school they attended was Castleberry High School.
I need to see what this chick looks like.
Now, the detective on the scene said that when he pulled up and saw Aretha's face, that he vowed to solve the murder. Okay? And that he does. So he also knew that there had been a series of rapes in the town. And though Retha was not raped, it looked like, obviously, it was sexually motivated. Panties in the mouth, legs sprawled open. She was half naked. That they assumed she probably fought her ass off and had to get killed.
Oh, no.
So let's back it up a year. That happened on January 21st, 1982. Let's back it up to January 23rd, 1981. Susan Brown, who is a cheerleader with Retha, was just getting ready for a basketball game. They were going to cheer at the basketball game that night. Now, Susan did not have a driver's license, so her friend and fellow cheerleader, Roxy, was coming to pick her up.
Okay.
But Roxy, hadn't showed up, so she was just kind of sitting there waiting. Now, while she was at home, she was home alone. Parents left and went to dinner, and her house phone rang. Remember those? House phones? House phone rang, and there was a man on the other end and asked if her dad, Mr. Brown, was at home. Did your parents ever have this conversation with you? If you're at home alone and somebody calls and asks for them, and if they weren't there, I knew it. I knew they did not have it. Well, she did what my mom told me not to do, is she let the person on the phone know that her dad was not at home.
Yeah.
So as soon as she said, Dad's not home, click. They hung it up. And then the phone rings again, and it's her sister. So she's just talking to her sister, waiting for Roxy to pull up till she hears a door open and shut. And when she looks up, there's a man standing in the doorway.
Oh, no.
He had a red mask on his face, like a ski mask,
Oh, gosh.
and pantyhose on top of that, like the Boston Strangler.
I was thinking Raising Arizona. You ever seen
Don't know what it is. Nope. Pantyhose on his face. He had on no shirts, but he did have on blue jeans, and they were unbuttoned and unzipped.
Oh.
Like he was ready.
No.
Yeah. She took off in her house. Like she's running through her house.
Like she'd go upstairs.
Yeah. Are there stairs?
No, but that's typically in like scary movies. It's like they always go upstairs. Like, you're not going to get out.
He caught up with her, ripped off her bloomers, like under her little uniform.
Ugh.
She was screaming. He was hitting her, and he was trying to rape her. She says during this time, God, please protect me.
Aww.
And then he turns her over. I know. But then he leaves. She said he walks right out the door, and when she looked out the window, all she could see is taillights speeding off. She couldn't tell what type of car. It was, I guess, dark by now. She couldn't tell what type of car. She just saw headlights.
Where is Roxy?
So he attempted to rape her. Roxy never showed up. So meanwhile, at the basketball game, Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy probably, okay.
Roxy's a red flag already. That's what I thought when I was
that's what I thought when I heard it. I'm like, well.
So, meanwhile, at the basketball game,
Susan
doesn't show up. And
Yeah.
so the cheerleaders are kind of pissed because you know how high school girls do.
Yeah, they're like,
and they're
"Where's
like,
this bitch?"
Roxy, because they couldn't do any of their stunts. They're like, Roxy, where is Susan? You're supposed to get her. And she was like, well, I had a fight with my boyfriend. I was just mad and running late, so I just didn't pick her up. Roxy, I
do not believe you right now.
So she called the police, and they came and interviewed her, but she didn't have much info besides what I just told you. He didn't have on a shirt. He was a white male.
But he could have
rape
looked
her.
close. Yeah. He could have maybe been the same description of the rapey guy. Wasn't there rapes going on in town?
This is one of the rapes I'm telling you about.
Okay, yeah.
So this is the first rape. So I'm going backwards now.
Yep.
So she didn't have any. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I got it.
This is a year before the murder, and kind of like when the rape started happening. So they didn't even take her to the hospital because she was kind of beat up a little bit, but there was no really signs of anything.
Yeah.
They didn't take her to do a rape kit, anything. They just kind of left. The next week, they asked her to go to do a lineup, like look at a lineup. But she was like, I know the approximate height and like maybe the build, but I wouldn't be able to identify anybody to line up. So that kind of just went in nowhere.
Yeah.
Now, Susan went back to school and nobody ever knew about her. Cheerleaders didn't know about it. She just said something happened and I couldn't come. She kept it to herself. Meanwhile, she was cheering and looking in the stands, wondering if her attempted rapist is just like staring at her. Now, Sarah, just like Retha, was popular. She was pictured in the yearbook as most talented, and no one ever knew what happened to her. I told you that. So let's go to September 1981. So it was January, now it's September. So there was a little bit of time in between. Yeah. It's the beginning of football season, and in Saginaw, Texas, which is right down the road, another victim was home alone. She got a phone call asking if her father was home, and she told him that he wasn't. The person on the other line hung up, and then a couple minutes later, somebody was in her house. Red mask, pantyhose on his head.
Oh, no.
No shirt, pants unbuttoned.
Oh,
she was raped. He completed the process with her.
Oh, shit.
She, too, was a cheerleader. Popular, beautiful, but a different high school.
Uh-huh.
December 7th, 1981. Lisa Tickner, 18 years old. She had just got off of work, and it was about 12-ish, and she was really tired. Her mom was in the living room watching TV, but she was in the late stages of a degenerative disease. So she was kind of incapacitated. She couldn't do anything for herself. She couldn't talk. Okay. Lisa went to sleep, but she woke up when she heard her door open.
No phone call.
No phone call. When she looked up, there was a dude standing in her doorway. Red mask, stocking over the mask.
Pants unzipped, shirt off.
Blue jeans and t-shirt, so he's dressed this time.
Oh.
He leaped on top of her, choked her, tore back the covers, and raped her in her own bed. She asked where her mom was because she was worried about her mom. Where's my mom? Is she okay? And he whispers, she's fine.
She's fine.
Just do what I say, and I will not hurt you. Which is smart because if you talk in your voice, they might recognize it, right? If they know you.
Oh my gosh, I hate this guy.
So,
I guess these people don't lock their door.
He told her to roll over. I mean, think about in the 80s. When I grew up in high school, we didn't lock our door.
Your lock latch key or whatever key. Yeah. I never did either. I mean, anybody
and
could have done.
Especially in the 80s. Yeah. So
we actually played outside.
Yep.
And we weren't worried about being kidnapped.
No. You weren't because your parents didn't warn you about it.
Like I was playing like hide and go seek with the 5 houses that closest to me. We were hiding.
Hide and go get it.
Yep.
So he told her to roll over into her stomach, and that's when she thought she was going to die. But he actually just left. And when she heard footsteps going down the stairs. She ran out after him, followed him. When he was walking out the door, he passes by her mom, who's incapacitated, and pulls off his mask. She only sees the back of his head, but now she sees that he has brown, kind of shaggy hair. Mom could only just look and tear up. So police come, and Lisa said the attacker had to have known me and my family situation to know that you can walk straight past my mom and she can't do anything or say anything about it.
Oh my gosh. She literally was like paralyzed or something. She just teared.
Yeah. So yeah, she couldn't.
So she knew she like maybe saw the person come in and then saw.
Probably come in with the mask.
Oh, and she just kind of is like laying there or something.
Yeah, because she's like, aware. Is the worst thing. Like they said that she's aware, so she knew probably what was going on, but couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, probably some like ALS. MS. So police interviewed her, and this time they did a rape kit on her, and she had no idea who it was. But she says, if you do get any suspects, if any of the suspects look like the linebacker for the team, Wesley Miller, then that might be a good place to start. And they were like, well, why would you say that? And they said, she says, he looked like he was a football player, like had toned arms, like a football player build. So they made a note, may look like Wesley Miller in their notes and left it at that. The very next day, like not even 24 hours later, right across the street from Lisa, lived another cheerleader named Roxy McDonald.
Okay.
She was not raped, but her little sister was raped. The same fashion that Lisa was. Somebody snuck into her room.
Did he get the wrong girl?
That's what I
feel like he did if he's trying to go for cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Sounds like he got the wrong one.
Maybe so.
Or maybe he thought that she was better when he saw that opportunity. I don't know.
Roxy is a cheerleader, like I said, real good friends with Lisa, with Susan, and with Retha. So they're all on the cheer team together. But Roxy also happens to date a guy named Wesley Miller.
No.
Yes.
So the last 3 that we've talked about are the same school, but the very first one was a different.
Retha's same school.
The
one in Saginaw is a different school, but
what
a
was
cheerleader.
Her name? Sarah.
It didn't say the name.
Oh,
I didn't see a name. Sarah was at the school, and Lisa was at the school. So there's 3 from the same school.
And then this Wesley
And
guy
now-
goes to that same school.
and plays football.
Oh, hell. Here we go.
So
Okay, so you said Roxy. They did something with Roxy's sister?
they raped So
And Roxy was the one that didn't go pick up
yes,
what's her face?
yes,
The beginning.
yes.
Roxy.
Roxy.
is okay, now I know why he didn't get Roxy.
He already got it. He gets Roxy when he won't. Okay.
Oh.
So now we're back at about the time of Retha's murder.
Okay.
So there's the
Yeah.
rapes. And so now at the time of Retha's murder, she had already graduated high school because it's January after she graduated. And she was living with best friend Amy Moody. Her and Amy were best friends since first grade. They would go home and do laundry and then make sure that they came back and met up at the house at the same time. They knew there was a series of rapes going on, so they were being very careful. They always locked their deadbolts,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mhm.
weren't going to be at home alone for a while. And Retha's dad was like, y'all need to be careful. We have a crazy person raping all of your friends, Retha. And Retha's quote back to Dad was, Dad, he's just going to have to kill me because I'm not getting raped. I'm going to fight.
Oh.
And that's what Retha did.
Oh, shit.
So roommate Amy is the one who found the body at the beginning of the story. And the detective on the scene, so now we're back at the murder, detective on the scene, he wanted to know who has been in the house lately. They hadn't lived there very much, and they weren't having many guests because everything was kind of going on, and they were just pretty careful.
Yeah.
So interviewed Amy, ruled out Amy. They were like, her emotion was just way too genuine. It wasn't her.
Mm-mm.
Family members that had been there ruled them all out. But Amy is still dating high school lover Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, everybody looks to the boyfriends.
Okay.
So Dale had just showed up right after Amy too, about 6:30. Now, Retha and Dale had been together for years.
Oh.
They started dating when Retha was in 8th grade and Dale was a junior.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, Retha's parents didn't like this, but
Mm-mm.
eventually they...
You got to, or they're gonna
Yeah.
rebel.
Dale also played football for Castleberry High School.
Okay.
They wanted to see if Dale had an alibi. And so they're interviewing Dale right there on site. Like, we're still at the crime scene. Interviewing Dale, and Dale was like, yeah, I got off work about 4:30, and I was gonna go straight to over here to Retha's because she was gonna cut my hair. But Retha had worked late and said, don't come till about 6:30. I'm going to take a nap.
Mhm.
Okay. So he went home. He lives with his parents. Parents said, hey, there's some dry cleaning. I need you to go pick up this dry cleaning. Will you pick it up on your way to Retha's? So before he went to Retha's to get his haircut at 6:30, he went and picked up his dry cleaning, then went to Retha's.
Okay. So there we go.
So police were like, if you have any proof, he was basically like, it's in the car. Like, here's my dry clean, it's in the car, here's the receipt. So they ruled out Dale pretty quick because he was at the dry cleaners at the time of the murder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're still all at the house. Dale's there, Retha's sister there, Retha's mom's there, police are there. While they're kind of sitting in the yard, a girl, one of the neighbors, comes and pulls them aside, Dale and Retha's sister. And she's like, hey, I passed by here earlier and there was a red truck parked in the front yard. And I'd never seen this truck. And so Retha and Dale were like, okay, red truck. Who drives a red truck? Who drives a red truck? Who do you think drives a red truck?
Is it could it be Wesley?
It probably Wesley.
Wow, Wesley in his red truck. Okay, that sounds about right.
Wesley Miller, he was a football player. He was a beautiful guy. You would have loved him because he was like dark hair.
I'm literally going to go watch the show after.
Dark feature, like dark eyes, dark feet, like darker features.
God.
Beautiful eyes, beautiful teeth. He was very well
Wesley.
built. Yeah.
Wesley, how dare you?
He was a very good friend
My
to
bet-
all of them. They were all their little football cheerleader clique.
Oh, but
He was a leader on the team. He was a leader at school. And he was voted best all-around student in the yearbook. Wesley.
What is wrong with you, my betrothed?
Now, an anonymous tip comes in, and this tip says that Roxy, Wesley's girlfriend, washed some of Wesley's bloody jeans earlier that day.
Okay.
Roxy.
Well, if I called it, then I called it. But I could. But now I'm like, well, is Wesley calling in this fake tip and trying to frame her?
Let's see.
Let's see.
So police are like, okay, so we know that Roxy dates Wesley. So they bring in Roxy for questioning. And
She probably was having a fight with her boyfriend because he was.
yeah,
Going
he can't get it up unless he's choking you.
Yeah.
So she said that Wesley came to her house about 5:45 that day of Retha's murder, and that he was bloody. She said that he had played football with some friends, and that one of the guys had a bloody nose, but he had somewhere to go, so he needed her to wash the jeans while he was there. Roxy lives 3 minutes from Retha, like right down the road. So police were like, fits in the timeline. He's been seen with blood. His car, he has the right car. We are going to bring him in. So they got an arrest warrant and interviewed him. Mind you, this is only 5 hours after the murder. All of this is happening that same day within hours. This is the fastest solved case ever. So they bring him in. And of course, he's very nonchalant. Not worried at all, like very even, tempered, calm, cool, calm, collect. And they said, where were you? And were you at Retha's house? Like, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, I actually was at Retha. Like, me and Retha had something going on. We were messing around.
Okay.
And that I was visiting her and I went over there to have sex. But when we started messing around, she stopped and she pushed me off. So then we stopped. But then we started again. And she stopped and she pushed me off. So then we stopped. That third time, though, I was just mad and I got a little carried away. And we started fighting because I did not get off the third time she pushed me off. So he said that they got into a scuffle and that he don't remember stabbing her, but it had to happen because he remembers leaving and she was dead. So he remembers the detail of everything else.
Wow. You just you blacked out.
They always black out.
You just have a blackout. It's a moment of insanity, right? It's like yeah.
So he said that he snapped, and he said that he grabbed a knife from the kitchen and he realized he did something because when the knife was in his hand, he knew he had to wash it off really, really good. So he washes it off in the kitchen. When he goes back into the closet where he stuffed her, he slits both of her wrists to make sure that she's really dead.
But he doesn't remember that.
Sticks the
sticks the knife in her chest.
And leaves.
And the panties.
Yes.
In her mouth.
Yeah.
But
he remembers that, but not the 38 times that he stabbed her.
Oh, he remembers the end of it. He remembers being bloody, cutting the wrists, putting the panties in, and leaving the knife in. But not the actual stabbings.
Not the stabbing. Yeah.
Okay.
Psychologist later said he's lying, obviously.
A little bit.
So now they're like, we got a confession. He knows specific things about a crime scene. The knife did come from her kitchen. Her wrists were slit. He did have the knife stuck. She did have the knife stuck in her chest. So they were like, okay, we got it. They also said he was talking about it with no remorse, like he was talking about a recipe. Olive oil in the pan, saute the onions and the peppers, just like that.
Just like that.
So they also wondered, could he be linked to all these other rapes that have been happening? Because, I mean, he obviously has a type and he has a profile. But they're like, we're not going to worry about the rapes yet. Let's focus on this murder. He goes to trial for murder. And during this murder trial, remember I told you he's a good-looking boy?
Yeah.
They were not allowed to bring up any of the alleged rapes because he hasn't been convicted for any of those yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the prosecution wanted him to get life.
Mm-hmm.
But his great lawyers convinced the jury that it would ruin the rest of his life, that he's young, that this is just a little mistake, and that he ought to be able to live his life and correct his wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so jury deliberated, and he was sentenced to 25 years with the possibility of parole in about 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
He could be facing parole in 1984. This is 1982.
I just don't ever get it.
It don't
Whenever
make sense.
you kill somebody, you can go to jail for 2 years and then that's it. But then if you like sell weed or coke or something, you're in jail for like 15.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make no
come back
sense.
up. Yeah, that's about to come up too. So when it came time to try him for the rapes, because the family, Aretha's family, was like, 2 years? That's not enough time.
Yeah.
But all the victims were like, but the rapes will add more time to it. Surely they'll get him on the rapes, and then he'll get more time per rape that he's done. They know there's at least 4 or 5. There had been other random rapes in the area that they are sure that he did, that he fits
like the one lady who put his name down.
Yes, yeah. There was a lady in a laundromat that was raped in a laundromat, and he didn't have on a mask because he didn't know her.
Oh my gosh, how many people did he rape?
She did a sketch. Yeah, there's no telling.
And why? You're so like, is it just the like element of surprise, or like the suspense of it, or like the knowing that you're doing something wrong and like having the power over somebody? Like, I guess
saying that you can interview all the rapists, and the only thing that they have in common is a lot of them are narcissists, but everything, like their motive and everything they do, it's all different. It's all different. So when they came to try him for the rapes, they could only do one of them because back then there's no DNA testing. So the rape kits meant nothing. And
they meant nothing?
They meant nothing. I was like, so why take them? I guess for future things. But they did have a fingerprint on one of them. So he agreed to plead guilty to that one rape.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other ones just kind of forgot about it. So he did get 20 years for that one rape. That's more than the thing. But look, he got 20 years for that one rape, but to be served concurrently with his current sentence.
Okay.
So the 25 years and the 20 all at the same time. So slap in the face, right? But because he's so good looking and everybody loves a football player, and how many people were his fans for all those on the jury was his fans for all that time? And
yeah, you never know.
He deserves a second chance.
So does Scott Peterson.
So Wesley was released from prison by 1992. Now, he was up for parole in 84. The family had petitions. They they sent letters of the crime scenes to the parole board, and they were there, and they spoke, so he did not get out like that first one.
Good. So
but in 1992, he did get out. And this is kind of like a Kenneth McDuff situation. A mandatory release because of overcrowding.
No, my gosh.
The Texas prisons were full because of the war on drugs. So it was full of people for marijuana and drug charges.
But you let out the rapists and murderers, but keep the drug dealers in.
But look, they were like, we're going to be fair. We're going to give everybody a fair chance to get out. If your amount of days in prison, the amount of days and the amount of good days is equivalent to at least a third of your sentence, we're going to let you out. So he got out with doing like 8 years of his 25-year sentence. And immediately went back. So he was let out of jail 5 times from 1992 to 2018 because each time he would violate parole and go back.
What an idiot.
Violate parole and go back.
I cannot with this guy.
All with attempted assaults on women.
Keep him in there.
No.
Take the wheel.
Right now, he currently lives. So one of the paroles, the girls that got raped, they contacted all the counties around them, 13 counties around them, and got them to agree to
put him on some list or something, or don't
come in the county, not take him in a halfway house, that he's not allowed to live in the county. So they at least made it so he wouldn't be close. So he currently lives in a mandatory supervised treatment facility for violent sex offenders in Littlefield, Texas.
Get him out of here. Send him to California.
Here is the crazy part is there's a picture. It's all kind of crazy. Think about like in the yearbook when there's the cheerleader pictures, right?
Yeah.
So all the cheerleaders are there. The sponsor might be in there. The mascot's in the middle, and you got like your megaphones or your pom-poms on the side. And there's an order. Everybody's like in this order, right? Well, he had a picture of the cheerleaders, the yearbook cheerleaders. And if you look at the order of the pictures, there's one up here. This is like Lisa, Aretha, Sarah, Roxy. So he was going in order of this yearbook picture. He was just going to keep going and get until he got all of the cheerleaders.
And he was just wanting to rape them.
Yeah.
But the kill was because she fought back.
Yeah.
And did he actually rape her?
There was no signs of rape.
Okay.
Because I think they ended up just fighting. He killed her and he left.
Yeah. Yeah. So it went wrong. His plan went wrong. So he had to go and I wonder.
So they said he got Roxy's sister as his placeholder for Roxy because he screws Roxy all the time.
Yeah.
So it would have just gone up this way up the picture.
Gosh.
Isn't that crazy? And I'll have to show you his picture. He was a cute little boy. Look, okay, let's see.
And
you got a picture back then too. Like this is the 80s. Look at that jawline. Look at the hair.
Yeah. I'm all about a jawline. I love
those
a good jawline.
Little
and
dimples, pretty teeth.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
Nobody was gonna say no to you anyways. But that's what he wanted. He wanted people to say no so that he can take it.
Oh my gosh.
So there's your Texas high school football.
Love it.
Murder. Check out the show. It's a great show.
It is. And I watched one episode and I'm going to have to watch another one. I'm going to have to watch it because that was so good.
There's a local one that I want to do, but.
Oh, I'll do it.
It is, it's a hard one.
Ooh.
It's a hard one.
That's
okay.
What she said.
When will we see them again? When will we see them again? Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Don't forget to
stay aware.
Stay alive.
Wait. What did I say?
Don't forget to
stay aware.
Stay alive.
And always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.